This is the aftermath of what a garage bay looks like after turbos and a clutch were completely replaced on another 335 right here over the past several weeks. I always talk about wanting to do more with a YouTube channel and never actually have the time. So I just want to give you a little update on what's going on with the 335 behind me right now. This is not going to be a super nice video, but there is some interesting stuff, so stick around if you want to see a couple minutes of what's going on. So let's just start with where the car is at right now. Front bumper is off. It's actually sitting on top of the car on that sheet of plastic. I've got that bumper off so that I can restore the headlights with my new LED angel eyes. You might have seen these on my Instagram. These were supplied to me by Joey at Angel Eye Guy. This guy is pretty awesome. He will talk to you about the angel eyes that you want or need, which you want and need them. And he will get you totally set up, and they're actually pretty affordable. So if you want to retrofit your headlights, that is definitely the guy you want to talk to. On the bench, I have a brand new OEM flywheel from FCP Euro with their lifetime replacement guarantee, and a brand new 335 IS clutch, which I think is the same clutch from the 540i and the 335 IS, which I already said. So that should hold a lot more power. We put down 464 last year, and then I threw on this big, thick intercooler. Let's see, pretty thick. Yeah. Threw that on probably around December, so about 3 months ago. So I don't think it's really gonna make like more power per se, but it'll definitely make the power that it's supposed to on the warmer days instead of just on the nice days. Right now, the entire exhaust system is out of the car, and the drivetrain is out because the transmission is also out. And this is actually the heat shield right here that comes down from the car when you need to get the drive shaft out, which you need to disconnect to get the transmission out. Brought the transmission to my local repair shop today, Reliable Automotive. It's only like 5 blocks down the street from me. Does great work on foreign cars. And they replaced the pilot bearing in the shaft of the transmission for me because I don't have the tools to do that. It actually took them 3/4 of an hour to do it, and they said they needed to be kind of creative, so I'm glad that I brought it to a shop that knew how to do it. Otherwise, we're taking care of everything else in-house. This is why the transmission had to come off. So I don't know how well you can see this in this lighting, but this is the old flywheel. See those little markings? Those are from trying to do a burnout. And the tires spun, they did, but so did the clutch, a lot. And it was one, maybe 5 or 10 second rolling burnout. Wasn't even a burnout, didn't even make any smoke, just squeaked a bunch. And here's the pressure plate. Oof, that is nasty. So that's why I got the FCP Euro one, because it's got the lifetime replacement guarantee. If other companies offered that, I would have maybe shopped somewhere else, but I want to be able to abuse this car and know that if I have to replace it again, it's on the house. Here's the actual clutch. There's not as much visible wear on this one. I did measure it and it's 7 millimeters thick. Not sure what the OEM spec is. If anybody knows, comment it down below. It's not terrible. I think the majority of the damage was on the pressure plate and the flywheel, but yeah, anyway, definitely a good time to replace it. So now on to the very good news. If you've been following my car, you know that it's got brand new Bilstein B14s in it. It's got brand new 034 Motorsport M3 street density control arms in the front. It's got brand new StopTech sport pads and rotors all the way around. So this is starting to look like a car that's gonna handle really well. But I'm still cursed by the 335 open differential. It's a real bummer. And because this car is a manual and it's not a 2007, it's 2008, that means it has the diff with the welded ring and pinion gear. So only in 2007 did the manuals come with a bolted ring and pinion gear, which basically makes sliding an LSD in like a day job. But because this one has a welded ring and pinion gear, I just didn't want to deal with it. Couldn't find an easy or affordable way to deal with it. So I just said, screw it. I'm going to completely convert the rear end into an M3 rear end. And I'm super excited about this because I ordered an entire rear subframe with the diff, the axles, the drive shaft, even the shocks, which I'm not gonna use because I've already got my B14s, but everything out of an E93 convertible M3, which means I'll get that nice fat E93 M3 rear sway bar, get the LSD from the M3, get the bigger axles or half shafts from the M3, and get that bigger drive shaft in there. I'm gonna do a complete retrofit because now's the time, right? The exhaust is off and those little rubber hangers that go on the back are just brutal, and I didn't want to do them more than once. So I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna do this once, I'm gonna do it right. So now that the transmission's out and the drivetrain is halfway out, I'm gutting it all. The wheels are coming back off the back. The entire rear subframe is gonna get dropped out, and we're gonna bolt in an M3 rear subframe. We have to get the drive shaft custom adapted so that the 335 drive shaft and the M3 drive shaft can mate together because they're slightly different. And once that's done, it's basically gonna be plug and play. I'll have to swap over my lower control arms from the 335 onto the M3 rear end because the lower control arms of a 335 are made for the spring perches of a 335, which fits my coilover kit. But if I use the spring perches from the M3, I won't be able to use the new Bilsteins, and I want the new Bilsteins. So I'll swap those over, swap the drive line or the prop shaft, and bolt it in, and away we go. If you have any suggestions for alignment specs on this car, I've changed so much with the suspension geometry. I'm definitely willing to look at suggestions. Don't know what I'm gonna set it up with. Probably -1.5 degrees in the rear and -2 to 2.5 in the front. But if you have a suggestion, I'm all ears. This car is coming a long way over the winter. We're shooting for somewhere around 500 wheel horsepower with an M3 rear end, amazing brand new suspension setup all the way around, super reliable, 1 out of 178 ever built in Atlantic blue. I want this car to be something that everybody remembers for being a clean, well-built, fast, and well-sorted 335 build. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions about the build or the status of things, or if you need to get parts, make sure to message me. I can sell you parts from ECS Tuning and Mashimaro. We can work together one-on-one for me to find you the right parts for your car, just like I'm finding the right parts for my car. We'll work together. DMs, messages, comments down below, whatever you want. Make sure to subscribe and I will get you what you're looking for. Meanwhile, stay around, check this thing out, see how it ends up. Hoping to have it on the road in about 3 weeks. Take care.